Hey guys, this is Callan OF with another episode of MOCTalks, and today I'm talking about Callan, my Matoran version. The reason I'm doing him instead of Makuta is because though Makuta got the most votes, I'm not doing Makuta yet. I'm going to probably do something special with him, and this guy got second. Sorry also that I missed a day yesterday. Just lots of confusion yesterday, and by the time I really was ready to do it, it was like 12:40 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So sorry I skipped a day. We'll probably do the whole weekend or something to make up for it. So let's just do this now, though. So let's talk about Callan Matoran. It's funny that I did this guy after the Callan LF2 version, but I did. And this one I honestly have more to talk about because his origin, the design is the same as I've already mentioned, but his origin is a little more interesting. Basically, the conception of this idea of making a mini Callan started with just that. I wanted to make a mini Callan for other small purposes, fits better with Jube, and I made this little guy. I think I was going to Legoland, and I kind of had an idea of doing like a special mock pages picture documentation of my visit, and I think I had those on an old computer. They're probably gone now, but I did that, and the old version was kind of funny because I actually was able to get the cape. This was after I turned Callan gold, so all Matoran Callans that I've made have had the gold and red color scheme. But he looked kind of weird because I was able to replicate the cape by using red Rakshi back pieces, and I thought that was kind of cute. And while I liked him kind of, I didn't like there was dark gray that was kind of a third wheel in the color scheme, and eventually I got kind of sick of that. Not to mention he was more of a chibi type, maybe not chibi per se, but he was smaller and he was kind of a chibi type. And he just used a lot of weird pieces that he looked kind of odd, and so I kind of eventually I decided to try and go for a more conventional Matoran sized build, and that's where this guy came in. I messed with this for probably a couple days, and that way the CCBS shells in red were really handy because it's a good way of making small arms that are posable, and on such a small character they don't look bare, so that's cool. His arms are, yes, incredibly simplistic, but just I don't know, just the whole color scheme, I'm really happy with it. I did not set out to use all of my star armor pieces on him when I made this mock, but that's ended up happening. So, but the legs are probably they're definitely my least favorite part about this mock, just because I didn't know exactly what to do. But they're still better than they were on the other version, because the other version was just the basic leg bones with an HF shell on it, so they looked kind of bad. And despite the weird legs, he can still bend at the knee, even if it's not at a very proper thing. So you can't have him sit down and he'll look kind of normal. It's if you try and make him look like he's running or doing anything else, he'll look kind of weird because the legs are not the best. Not much I can do to fix that. And, I mean, I probably could figure out something, especially with newer parts coming out, but they're a little bulkier, and, well, they aren't coming out anymore. Bionic was over. And but yeah, the new parts they made are kind of bulky, and I'm not sure I can do much with them. Not to mention, I feel like I've had this guy for a couple years now. To think he's getting old too, and so I figure he's kind of iconic to this channel the way he is, so might as well leave him be. Speaking of him being kind of iconic, I'd say this is probably my preferred choice of expressing myself mock, despite the still gaudy gold and red color scheme that promotes kind of a sense of royalty or a sense of self-importance. I feel like this one's a little bit more relatable per se. He doesn't look quite as gold and grand. I mean, he's still gold, but I feel like he looks more like a normal dude. So I kind of prefer that aspect. Also, just this whole chest design I'm really happy with because these spikes are, despite being a little inconsistent in some Callan and Davix uses, because there's a little things you can do with them. Like you can make him look kind of like a tux, even though it looks kind of goofy. But you can. I just like the posability. It gives kind of a sense of fun. So I'm going to briefly talk about his history. I introduced this MOC because, as if you didn't know, the previous version of this little guy that I've been talking about, he was first prominently used in Galtor Port when I took over for it, and then I created a little thing where I revamped both Cossi and Callan by having them both die. Well, technically, the previous what have I been saying? The previous Galtor Port implied that Cossi was beaten up, so I went with that as a death cover story, and then I just joked that Galtor murdered Callan behind the scenes. So, and then they come back and they got these new looks, and they look a lot better. So I'm pretty happy with this guy. And I've had him the same ever since. He was like this in Callan and Davix, as you probably know. That's probably where most people will see this design. But other than that, I haven't used him a ton. A couple other little sketches. There's some JCI shorts on this channel with him. But still, I've used this guy. In more recent years, I've used him as my self-mock more than the main one. So in that sense, I kind of prefer him. This one is just, he feels more right. He feels, but so yeah, let's do some size comparisons, shall we? Here he is with the big old Callan, who looks like a weird lord. And this is still not tall enough. Oh well. Here, we can do a height shot. There we go. Yay, comparison. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get rid of it. Here he is with JoJo. Let's see. And then standard, here's a Tahu Star comparison. Why not? Yeah. You stole all my armor. Wah. Okay, that's enough of that. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much the end of this MOCTalks. Hope you enjoyed. This guy's obviously pretty special to me, so that was the main reason I didn't do one last night, because I didn't want to rush it at 12 in the morning. But I feel like I'm starting to run out of MOCTalks choices, so I figure better make this a good time to throw in some options of some guys that you can vote on. Because yeah, I'm really starting to run out. That, and I might as well mention that I'm heading back to school soon. So the idea of being able to pull out any MOC that I still have is not going to be as big of an option, because I'm only going to be able to take some of them up with me to FSU. So yeah, I don't know exactly how to go about that, and I would love to keep doing some kind of daily show because I just like talking about things. So I don't know, I'll probably figure out something along those lines. But yeah, here's just a bunch of MOCs that you can request. Some of them have been requested by 1 or 2 people, but might as well bring them to the forefront. So hopefully you enjoyed this MOCTalks, and hopefully at least one of these guys will catch your eye, and please vote on these, because I don't think I'm going to have voting for the Makuta one. Makuta one will come, I promise, but not going to be voted on. And so thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys another time. Bye!